Have you ever felt your legs getting weaker, even though you thought you were eating healthy? You're not alone. Many seniors are unknowingly sabotaging their leg strength by eating certain fruits they believe are good for them. But here's the truth. Some of these so-called healthy fruits can spike blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and silently weaken the very muscles that help you walk, stand, and stay independent. If you're over 60, this message is urgent. Because your muscle strength, especially in your legs, is the key to avoiding falls, keeping your balance, and living life on your own terms. Today, we're revealing 7 fruits that may be quietly draining your leg power, and what to eat instead to rebuild strength and mobility from the inside out. Let's start with the hidden culprits. Fruit number 1, grapes, a sugar bomb in disguise. At first glance, grapes seem harmless. Sweet, bite-sized, and packed with antioxidants, right? But here's the problem. Grapes are loaded with fructose, a type of sugar that's rapidly absorbed and spikes insulin levels. For seniors, this can be dangerous. High insulin surges can accelerate muscle loss, a condition known as sarcopenia. Studies from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology show that older adults with higher insulin resistance lose more muscle mass, especially in the legs. Plus, grapes offer very little fiber to slow down absorption. That means sugar hits your bloodstream like a freight train, fueling inflammation, oxidative stress, and eventually, weakening your muscle mitochondria. If you're eating grapes daily, especially in large quantities, you may be setting yourself up for slower legs, less stamina, and reduced strength. Better option, replace grapes with blueberries. They're rich in anthocyanins, support mitochondrial function, and have a low glycemic load. Fruit number 2, bananas, energy now, weakness later. Bananas are often labeled the perfect fruit, but for aging muscles, they may not be. Why? A single banana contains up to 14 grams of sugar, mostly as glucose and fructose. This sugar can lead to a roller coaster of blood sugar spikes and crashes, which in turn triggers fatigue and inflammation. But there's more. Bananas are low in protein and contain very little magnesium, 2 crucial elements for muscle contraction and recovery. Without enough of these, leg muscles become tired more easily and recover slower after even light exertion. According to a 2021 study in the journal Nutrients, chronic low magnesium levels are linked to reduced grip strength and slower walking speed in older adults. Better option, try avocados, technically a fruit, loaded with potassium and magnesium, plus healthy fats that stabilize blood sugar. Fruit number 3, watermelon, a hidden hydration trap. On hot days, watermelon feels like a blessing, but as you age, it can become a trap. Despite being 92% water, watermelon contains a high glycemic index. It breaks down fast and floods the body with sugar. This matters because fast carbs impair muscle repair. Every time you eat something with a high glycemic index, you increase levels of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, compounds that stiffen tissues and damage muscle fibers. And since leg muscles are among the largest in your body, they bear the brunt of that damage. In other words, watermelon may be quenching your thirst, while silently stiffening and shrinking your leg strength. Better option, snack on cucumber slices with lemon. They hydrate without the sugar and even help reduce inflammation. Fruit number 4, pineapple, the sweet inflammation trigger. Pineapple may be tropical and refreshing, but don't let that fool you. Yes, it contains bromelain, a natural enzyme with anti-inflammatory properties. But it also comes packed with a massive sugar load, up to 16 grams of sugar per cup. And sugar is the enemy of strong legs. Here's why. When your blood sugar spikes, your body releases more insulin. Excess insulin doesn't just store fat, it also signals muscle breakdown and slows down muscle regeneration. A 2019 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high sugar intake in seniors was directly associated with reduced muscle mass, especially in the lower body. Even worse, the acidity of pineapple can cause joint irritation in some individuals, especially when consumed frequently, amplifying leg discomfort and stiffness. Better option, replace pineapple with papaya. It contains enzymes like papain for digestion, less sugar, and gentler effects on joints. Fruit number 5, dried fruits, tiny treats, big damage. Raisins, dates, prunes, dried mango. These are often seen as healthy snacks. But here's what you may not realize. Removing water from fruit concentrates the sugar into a small, calorie-dense bite. Just a handful of raisins contains more sugar than a chocolate chip cookie. Even worse, many commercial dried fruits are coated with additional sugar or preservatives like sulfur dioxide, which can trigger inflammatory responses. Inflammation is one of the biggest threats to aging legs. It slows mitochondrial recovery, weakens muscle fibers, and increases the risk of muscle cramps and fatigue. In fact, research published in Age and Aging highlights that chronic inflammation is a leading factor in declining muscle strength in the elderly. Better option: swap dried fruit for a handful of almonds or walnuts. They're anti-inflammatory, rich in protein, and help preserve muscle mass. Fruit number 6. Fruit juice, the sugar trap masquerading as health. Orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, even 100% natural versions. These are some of the worst things you can drink for leg strength after 60. Why? Because juice strips out the fiber and concentrates all the sugar into a single gulp. You go from eating one apple, moderate sugar, lots of fiber, to drinking the sugar from 4 apples in 10 seconds. That's a metabolic shock. This causes your blood glucose to spike, leading to insulin surges, and over time, this accelerates muscle wasting and mitochondrial fatigue. Not to mention, high sugar from juice can increase uric acid levels, which contributes to gout, a painful condition that often targets the feet and legs. Better option: choose green smoothies made with spinach, avocado, chia seeds, and a small slice of green apple. These nourish your muscles without overloading sugar. Fruit number 7. Canned fruits, preserved weakness in a cup. Finally, canned fruits may seem convenient, but they often come soaked in syrupy, sugar-rich liquids. Even when labeled in light syrup, these products are often drenched in high fructose corn syrup, one of the most muscle-damaging ingredients you can consume. HFCS has been linked to increased levels of inflammatory cytokines, which promote muscle cell breakdown and reduce the ability of your leg muscles to regenerate after strain or injury. Worse yet, many canned fruits are stored in aluminum-lined containers, which may leach trace metals that build up in the body and impair muscle and nerve function. Better option: choose fresh, whole fruit in small portions, and always pair with a source of protein or healthy fat to blunt the sugar effect. Part 3. The science behind muscle loss after 60. Let's take a moment to understand what's really happening to your legs after 60, and how certain fruits can speed up the damage. Sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over age 60. It leads to shrinking leg muscles, weak knees, and unstable balance, difficulty climbing stairs, higher risk of falls and fractures. According to the National Institute on Aging, the decline is not just natural aging. It's exacerbated by lifestyle and diet, especially high sugar intake, a low protein, chronic inflammation. That's why the 7 fruits we've discussed today can worsen your condition. They may seem healthy, but inside, they're fueling the very processes that shrink and weaken your leg muscles. Part 4. How to protect and rebuild leg strength naturally. Here's the good news: you can restore your leg strength if you make a few smart changes today. Start with this 3-part strategy. 1. Eliminate or reduce the 7 dangerous fruits, especially fruit juice, dried fruit, and canned fruit. These are the biggest muscle saboteurs. 2. Replace with low-glycemic, anti-inflammatory options like blueberries, avocados, papaya, kiwi, cucumbers, lemons, grapefruit, in moderation, if no medication conflict. These nourish without spiking blood sugar. 3. Pair every fruit serving with a protein or healthy fat. This balances blood sugar and provides amino acids for muscle repair. Examples: blueberries with Greek yogurt, apple slices with almond butter, avocado with boiled eggs. Bonus tip: add strength-building nutrients to your daily routine. Magnesium supports nerve muscle signaling. Vitamin D boosts muscle contraction. Creatine helps rebuild leg strength. Protein: aim for at least 20 g per meal. Closing message: you don't have to give up fruit, but you do have to be strategic, especially after 60, because the wrong fruits, eaten too often, can silently weaken your legs, drain your energy, and rob you of your independence. But the right choices? They can rebuild your strength, support your balance, and give you the confidence to move freely, without fear or fatigue. Start today. Your legs will thank you tomorrow.